tall, so not the biggest barbarian.
What if we put it in 2 grades and then we wrapped it in red and then we gave on the flowers sticking together and then what if we did this?
May I have another drink, please?
Yes, you may, Candy. Go so.
Put your hands up, it's better!
No. Sarah, roll me a Constitution saving throw. Yes, you. I'm gonna fight you.
He's sort of you guys know who I am, right?
Yeah. Goggles.
You're Dr. Mole.
Robot. Dr. Robot.
What do you do?
Take a moment to try to stop laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one!
Why not? It worked again.
Hating on Batman.
And I don't hate Batman, for the record. I hate the fandom of Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay,
That's the
that's
issue.
way more people.
It is. It's
To
a
hate.
lot, like actual human beings.
Were you gonna...
You need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me, or I will fail. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like.
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline, you have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just gonna point at my feline eyes.
I have some hope.
You've just tuned in. We had the brilliant idea while we were fishing at the Dark Moon Festival.
Oh, jeez.
To do a dungeon with fishing poles equipped. Because why not? And so we drank all of the alcohol in our bags, and we equipped our fishing poles and our aquatic pets, and we went to do a dungeon.
I feel like I need to close out. So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find more family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our heart. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to wander in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question, I hope to not blunder. The question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you guys. Indigo Connect. Hello, everybody. Here, I'm gonna come back around.
Then I'll say, hi, how are you? Welcome to Homebrew and Brew with you.
And you.
Yay!
And you! I never had to say that.
You don't.
I don't. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Sunday night. It is time for a little Indigo Chameleon goodness. And we had originally planned for this to be a Crab Road Truckers night. However, we had trouble getting like a full cast, and it's the first day of school tomorrow, so Crab Road Truckers will ride again, trucking through time. However, tonight we thought we'd go a little simple and chill and relax and do a little homebrew and brew with you. So
With you.
And you.
Oh, I thought I escaped it. that's on me. So we have a few announcements. Eric is dying.
I'm not dying.
Please don't die.
I just have like a little death in my lungs.
I just have death in my lungs. We have a few announcements before we get started. There's lots of fun and exciting things happening on the channel. Tomorrow, join me as I play the Spider-Man game. I'm really excited. I fell in love with this game. I went over to a friend's house and played it, and so Sarah Ray willing and Cheshire willing, I will be able to play this for all of you fine people. And we'll start from the very beginning, and we'll earn suits together, and it's going to be an amazing time. Come hang out with us and chill and just relax and kick back. On Tuesday night, we go back to Wonderland. There was a big twist at the episode of the last Wonderland D&D game. The crew had gone off to hell to rescue Nyx's beloved, and when they returned back to their home plane, a year had passed, with a brand new set of heroes claiming to be the Nameless and those Heroes of Wonder, which is odd because the Nameless is a name that the group came up with while in this afterlife dimension. So there's lots of questions, and we're going to be exploring some of the things that happened in the year they've been gone. So that's going to happen on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, Indigo Chameleon and I are going to be over on the Plaster Dragon. It's another streaming channel that does awesome games. You can go check them out. On Wednesday night, as we're doing a modern day D&D game with Icky V, who sometimes hangs out with us here in the chat and things of that sort, and the Plaster Dragon, who sometimes hangs out in the chat. So come and join us tomorrow or Wednesday for that. And then Thursday, there's some World of Warcraft and things of that sort with Indigo Chameleon. And then Friday, we cycle back to Neverland. Neverland's going to be interesting this week. We do have a guest star coming and joining us, and I don't want to spoil it, but some of the preliminary character notes, you're not going to want to miss this episode. Not only that, but I'll tell you all that are watching and nobody else, and just don't spoil it, I'm introducing a set of female pirates. You're going to love them more than any of my other NPCs. So, because, they're pretty awesome. So tune in to meet Catherine and all of her crew. So, yes, and that'll be happening on Friday. Now, all of that being said, I think that brings us into tonight's episode of Home-Brew and Brew with you.
And you.
There's a couple of things that I want to work on. There's a couple of things I want to work on. Our very own fairy friend, Nell in Neverland, something happened with her wings, and they're not really working that well. So what I contemplated doing is providing a mount to her in terms of giving her something that she can befriend with, that has sort of the abilities to fly and things of that sort, that will still be able to utilize in combat.
Okay.
So tonight I want to work on that a little bit. So let's actually go to the chat. So gang, we have this Pixie character.
How tall is she? I mean, typical Tinkerbell height is what, 6 or 8 inches?
I think like 5, 6 inches.
5 or 6
in
inches.
And that's what she is?
There's been some talk about a dragonfly.
Yeah,
and I want to support that as well. So that's the first one that I kind of want to work on tonight. But then I want to have some alternatives. I want to have some ones in my back pocket that she could fly around on and still sort of provide support for. So with the dragonfly, I don't know, a regular flying speed for flying creatures is 30 feet. But it's also a movement speed, and I'd say that the hummingbird can cover a huge distance.
Wait, dragonfly or hummingbird?
Yeah, dragonfly.
Okay. I would say for a dragonfly, it's flying really fast.
Okay.
But it's also small, so it takes longer to to go afoot.
Or whatever. And I'm happy to look into some of the other flying.
Well, Miss Audie recommended Bumblebee too, which I really love because they have one offensive spell, and then they die.
See,
they're smaller than a dragonfly.
Yeah.
I was hardcore thinking hummingbird because I liked the idea of the sharp beak.
Maybe it was a
for piercing.
Okay, so the three. Then let's concentrate on those three.
Okay.
Let's concentrate on a dragonfly, a hummingbird, and a bumblebee.
Okay.
Audie, that's a really good suggestion. Thank you. So I want to give them all equivalent speeds.
Yeah, about 30 feet.
About 30 feet, and I'm even good with 25 feet. And just give it the halfling or the gnome side of things when it comes to movement, but I want it equivalent to.
What is her normal movement? Is it 30?
5 feet.
Her normal movement?
I don't think anybody's noticed this in Neverland, but she has 5 feet per round. That is it.
Whoa.
That's why, and she's done a good job of hiding it. But that's why she's
sitting on
sits on a shoulder or jumps in a pocket or things of that sort. Because right now she's got a 5 foot, I think maybe even 10 foot at most.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you're right with that 5.
I think I'm right with the 5.
Yeah.
So I want
so a bat, actually bat would be cool too, but a bat has 30-foot flying speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 30 foot's generally the standard.
Okay, well the insects, because the bat's hardy.
Yeah.
The bat seems like a different weight class.
Okay, then let me go down into, let me see if I can find a flying insect.
It's 5. Yeah, it's Audi. Okay, so what would be some of the benefits? What would be a unique benefit to flying with a dragonfly?
Flying with a dragonfly?
Already you've got flying and already you've got faster speed.
Right.
So, without going too OP with the idea, it probably shouldn't be an attack advantage.
No.
But maybe a dodge advantage because dragonflies move quite well. So
Okay.
maybe along the lines of a blur kind of spell, but not blur.
How about once a day? Once a day, you can impose disadvantage on an attack, like one attack of your choosing. Do you know
So
what I mean?
almost uncanny dodge.
Almost like an uncanny dodge.
Like
uncanny,
the rogue.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. Miss Audie says hummingbirds. What we could do with that are hummingbirds are pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
What we could do is have something to do with stealth checks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, what I was thinking for Hummingbird, it was actually just something that she could do once a day.
Okay.
And it's almost like with the Hummingbird being so close to a fae so much, it's actually gained a little bit of magical ability. So once a day, it could use its snout to absorb magic and give her back a spell slot if she.
She doesn't have spell slots.
She doesn't have any spell slots?
She is not a caster.
Oh, I thought she had spell slots.
No. Nell is an arcane archer, has yet to fire any.
So
but
she doesn't have any.
She is Green Arrow. She's got like specialty arrows and things of that sort, but not any sort of spell
then that takes
casting.
that back.
But I like the Audie. This is very good.
The stealth, the silent.
How do we handle that? Just
I would say she just when she's on her mount gets advantage on stealth checks.
That's very powerful. But yeah, I'll allow that. The hummingbird once a day could turn invisible with her. That absorbs something. She does have spells, but it's not spell slots. It's like an innate magic.
Yeah.
But I would say I would allow that. That once a day the hummingbird can turn invisible with her. That's really good.
So basically, her invisibility can also
transfer over to the hummingbird. Like it encompasses.
Yeah, so she doesn't get an additional invisibility. It's just if she's on her mount, it'll.
Okay, I think this is good, and this is something like soft, like dragonfly. Have you found any other?
It's funny when you look in Player's Handbook under insects, they've got like giant versions of the insects, and then they've got swarms of small insects. But there's not just like a bee or a by itself.
Of bees.
It's a swarm.
It's like
or it's a giant, and that then you're talking about a whole different weight class. But we could probably modify off of like for example, there's a giant fly, but it's considered a large beast. Its flying speed is still 30 feet. No, its fly is 60 feet actually.
Yeah. Well, that thing is huge though.
But
right?
it's massive. It's a large beast. The giant fly has dark vision. The AC is 11, so it's low in armor. It's low in hit points, even as a giant fly. But passive perception. That's where you tend to get advantages, is in like stealth or passive perception, that kind of thing.
Sure.
I worry that by giving a whole lot of extra like powers and things.
Yeah, and
it starts to get a little too OP, and there aren't other mounts really that give people extra powers or that replenish spell slots.
No, and I don't want to make it too OP, and that's why I feel like the dragonfly once a day doing uncanny dodge, like the hummingbird once a day, like being able to go invisible.
Now, is this like a familiar, or is she able to conjure?
Okay, no.
How does this work?
Dragonflies are super shiny, so once a day may blind the enemy. That's good, Audie. So that's the issue. It's not a familiar. And the reason I don't feel like this is OP is these things would have like 1 hit point.
Yeah.
If this thing gets hit, it's donezo.
Well, because even if you give it like 8 or 12 hit points, it's not gonna last.
Yeah. And the only thing I can think of is making it from the Feywild, and so that it doesn't die. It dies in this realm. It just takes 7 days of in-game time for it to remanifest its.
Yeah.
What if you handle it like a familiar? Like a familiar, you've got.
Okay.
If it dies, if it gets hit, It's out, but you have to have an hour to bring it back, and you can choose different forms. But then you're just giving her a familiar.
You had to specifically
get
Wizard Initiate, and I'm not going to give that to somebody for free. Like, I'm not going to give somebody that when you had to like skip a level up, like in order to get that.
Well, I'm just wondering how you justify. Is it that she has the innate ability to call dragonflies and hummingbirds to her?
That could be it. I mean, but I know players well enough to know that they like forming bonds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you like forming bonds with the little creatures.
Well, then it makes more sense to just stick to one then.
Yeah, but I wanted to be able to pick. Like this is
Okay. What about for Bumblebee? Rather than giving it an attack, because obviously, like, you know, one attack and it's dead.
Yeah.
What about something that allows her not to fall off her mount? Almost like a honey,
that's good.
Like a honey saddle or something, like.
Oh, the stickiness, the innate stickiness of the Bumblebee.
So that like she can't fall off of it.
Yeah, that's true. She is going to have to come up with a saddle for each of these because she's firing a ranged weapon. Like.
Well, only one, because would she be picking one of them? Like once you come up with the ideas?
Yeah, but not the Bumblebee. She'd be able to skip that step, but she'd miss out the other two.
Got it. Okay.
Like the innate stickiness of the Bumblebee. She was friends with an animal
the teacher
fairy.
in me right now is like, bumblebees aren't sticky; they get covered with pollen. Sorry.
No, I understand that. That's why I said honey saddle. Like there's a dollop of honey on the bee's back.
Wow.
Yes.
This is a magical world. Can you please let go?
Also, this person is 5 inches tall. I don't know if that's...
Miss Audie had this good idea of maybe she was friends with an animal fairy that taught her how to communicate with one kind of animal. Like, I have talked to animals. Well, talk to insects.
Talk to bumblebees. The only issue with that, because you know me, and what I would do, I would be like, no, I can talk to bumblebees, and I've called an entire swarm. But so like this bee,
and then my first instinct as a DM would be like, you calling the swarm and then being like, yeah, but we're real busy.
Okay, but this is like, so think in terms of WoW though. Okay, you can get like. You can bond with this animal, but it takes a specific like kind of bonding ritual. I mean, in that sense, like she can call it over, but maybe it takes her an hour of time to bond with this to be able to fly.
Absolutely.
Which means if it dies, she's going to have to. There is the disadvantage that I can't just call over another bumblebee in the middle of battle. I'm going to have to take my hour. It's similar to the familiar idea, but it's only one specific animal, and she's got to find that animal. So it doesn't give her a 7-day thing.
Should she have to... Should we turn this into like a pixie or fairy dynamic? Where like she has to sacrifice like a certain amount of her hit points in order to bring this thing back?
Oh,
like it's just you know what I mean?
Like you can bring it back.
Like she can cure it, but she has to cure it with her own essence.
Miss Audie's new character, Clip, and she wrote this quote, Clip, talk to this bee for me. I want it to be my friend.
Well, if so, it can't be like a 1 hit point creature. It's got to be like what are we at right now? We just hit 12?
Yeah.
So most people are at what, like 30-something hit points?
I think the hit points of the creature are determined by how many she decides to sacrifice to it on a given day.
Oh.
Her essence actually fuels this creature.
Yeah.
So you can call your hummingbird how many hit points you want to give it.
Yeah, like he's part of you. Like you've bonded. So if you.
So what prevents her from just? Well, I guess.
Nothing. So like
for going. Oh, I'm going to give 15 points to my hummingbird. Can you heal me for 15 points?
Nothing prevents her from doing that.
Okay.
Like, but you guys aren't going to waste this. Like, even if it's the end of the day, she has to think about this.
Does she have to do it in the morning?
Love you, Miss Audie. Enjoy work.
Bye. Can she do it right before bed? Like, could she say, "Hey, you've got a spell slot left. Could I conjure this hummingbird for 30 hit points?" And then you can heal me for 30 and then go to bed and replenish your spell slots.
What if it's a fey ritual that we don't know about yet that actually like melds 2 souls? And so the way that she can like have this hummingbird and bring it back is by exchanging essence.
Okay.
So like It's actually that at some point her soul was melded with this hummingbird.
For everybody just tuning in, we are homebrewing like a specific mount for a Pixie fairy character in our Neverland campaign. All right, so is this too much?
Okay.
She plugs her life force into this thing, right? I want the thing to have 7 hit points. Okay. Then it's the end of the night, so she either heals the next morning or somebody casts a spell on her. It doesn't matter. When the mount dies, if it dies, she still loses those 7 hit points.
Like for the rest of the day?
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm
like-
talking about
it's
like
like
in the
she
middle
got
of battle,
hit into
like
essence.
Wednesday night. I mean, that is. Oh, thank you, Icky. Welcome, dude. We just talked about you, about how great you are, and saying your praises. So
Okay.
Wednesday night, she goes, "Hey, I'm gonna summon my mount back,"
Okay.
and she plugs in 7 hit points.
Yes.
Okay. The next morning, Friday morning, she wakes up and her health is full.
Right.
And so is the mount. So is the hummingbird. It's still at 7 hit points.
Okay.
Amidst the battle Friday, that mount goes down. When it dies, she immediately loses 7 hit points.
Because it was her essence.
Because it was her essence in this thing.
Oh, so that
Like,
prevents her from just plugging 30 hit points into
You
it.
could totally plug 30 hit
She
points into
could,
this.
but the second it dies, she loses an immediate. It hurts her soul that
it
much.
hurts
when
her
it
soul
dies.
because it's a part of her.
Yeah.
That's good because that prevents I'm trying to think about like the game breaking aspects of it. So what do I do? Oh, I just go, okay, hey, you've got spell slots. Can I just plug 30 into this and you can heal me up?
I've got 100 hit points. I'm plugging 99 into this hummingbird. And then I was like, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, fine. I'm going to sleep now." Like, but if it was tied into her, if it was part of the
So
magic
she has
that
to be
binds
careful.
her.
She can't give it one short of her own hit points because there's too much of a chance that
Yeah, you got to find the balance. You got to find the balance of like, I don't want to plug 15 into this because 15 is a major hit if this thing dies.
Because
but like,
even 12 or 15 for something like that is a high number of hit points for a little beastie.
Yeah, like
but
now-
that way she can choose to do it.
Right. Now, question.
Hellspawn is right. Hellspawn is right. Like, this is a Horcrux.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's basically.
Oh my gosh! Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that.
Hellspawn 1990. That is genius.
Yeah.
This is essentially a character setting up a relationship like a Horcrux, like the ability to sort of provide your essence and sort of meld it with something.
Now, question. A couple of questions. One,
Okay.
being that it's attached to her essence, does it level up with her?
No.
No leveling up. It stays wherever it was.
Well, no, because as she levels up, she can plug more hit points into it. That's where
She
it
can
kind of levels
choose
up.
to
Right.
level
Well, I
this
meant like,
thing
does its hit points level up? Because you said you
No.
wanted it like 7.
No.
No, because
No.
she decides whether it's 7 or
Oh,
12.
okay.
Like as she levels up and
She
gets
can
higher,
decide how
she
many
can
to
put more
get it.
points into
Okay.
it.
Tomorrow she could plug 12 hit points
Okay.
into this thing.
Okay.
She could plug
Sorry, when you said 7, I thought you meant I wanted it 7. Like that's
No.
what I
No,
wanted. At.
she could put it at 30
Yeah.
if she wanted
Whatever
to, but
she
if she
wants.
gets hit, she could
Okay.
die.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then 2, does she get any additional abilities because it's part of her soul? Like, can she do like the seeing through the eyes of the beast kind of a thing? Being that they're tied together.
Sure. Yeah, I would allow that, but I would also be
There would be drawbacks,
super
obviously.
reticent about sending something into
Yeah.
like to scope out a place without me knowing that it could die any second
Yeah,
and I could
yeah,
take a
yeah.
major hit.
Well, because like, okay, so I just hit level 3 and I'm at 24 hit points. I don't know what she's at, but like we're not at that many hit
Right,
points.
right.
She plugged 7 into that. 7 points is gonna hurt.
Icky brings up it does kind of sound like 1 in essence. So I think being able to see through it and being able to communicate
Yeah.
because it's part of the
Telepathic.
essence. But we're eliminating the find familiar aspect of
Yeah.
things by plugging it into her as like
Yeah.
a part of who she is.
Now, what happens when it dies? She gets hit. How long does it take her to summon a new one? Does she have to wait?
However long she wants to take it takes an action.
Oh, okay. It's
She
an
would-
action, so she could immediately summon one, but then she's gonna be plugging in another
However
8 hit points
many
or whatever
hit
it
points
is, and she could get
wants.
hit again.
Yeah.
So
she
it's
just
risky to do that in the middle of the battle.
she essentially reaches into the never and
Okay.
and pulls it out.
Okay, so she doesn't have to be in a place, if she picked Bumblebee, she doesn't have to be in a place that has bumblebees because she's reaching into the never to pull them out, whether she's in a cave or anywhere else.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I wouldn't
Okay.
pull it out underwater, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Now you did.
Yeah, the tied to the soul, the Horcrux aspect really gives a consequence for overusing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she conjures 3 bees in the middle of battle, like every time one goes, she gets hit hard.
Yeah.
So it gives a consequence for overuse.
Yeah. And I would say she can only summon one at a time.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, she's summoning the same one.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if it's
So like if she had a bee, she's got a bee.
yeah, not multiple bees.
I'm summoning 25 bees.
That's
each
how you
with
would,
1 hit point.
That's how you would do it. You would just summon army of bees. Yeah.
I have 100 hit points. I'm summoning an entire swarm of hummingbirds.
Okay. Okay, I really like this.
So she cannot summon more than one at a time.
It's the same creature.
Yeah.
Because her soul is tied to that.
Got it.
It's bury the bee.
Okay.
Over and over again. So yeah. Okay.
Except a better name than Barry.
And instead of bury the bee.
Yeah, it's Harry the hummingbird.
Jerry Seinfeld the bee. That's it, folks. That's it. That's it. We found the one. Thank you guys so much. Jerry Seinfeld the bee.
It could be Henrietta.
Henrietta the bee?
No, Henrietta the hummingbird. Alliteration is good.
I do like alliteration. I like me some alliteration.
It's not your mount. If it was your hummingbird, you would get to call it Henrietta.
That's fair.
Henrietta the hummingbird is a nice name.
Henrietta the hummingbird is really good.
It's okay, we'll recommend it to her.
Thank you.
Can we do
I'll text her right now.
Can we do Daryl the dragonfly? I summon forth Daryl.
No, it's Delilah the dragonfly.
Dee
Dee dragonfly. I do declare. Okay, that was the one thing I wanted to do. So let's get over to the thing you wanted to do.
Cool, done. See ya. Thank you so much for trying.
The bunny slippers.
Oh,
that you came up with the other night.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I didn't come up with
That was
anything. I
kind of
made a
wolf,
snide
right?
comment, and it turned into
See
a
what
thing.
happens when you make snide comments.
You'd think I'd know by now.
During a Neverland one shot, we are always looking for new players and new sort of people to hang out in the world, Wonderland and Neverland. So do a little follow and hang out with us on the Discord. And check in recruitments because we're always looking for new players. But there was a moment where one of our characters was wearing bunny slippers, and then this guy made a snide comment about, oh, well, they're magical bunny slippers.
I said the bunny slippers of Speedy Dash. And then, of course, he brought that back up later in the episode, like, but I'm wearing the bunny slippers of Speedy Dash.
It's like, you can't just wish an item into being, or can you?
We kind of do this all the time.
Yeah.
But honestly, that was the end of our thought process on that. And then he was like, no, I want this to be a thing.
Okay, so these are the bunny slippers of Speedy Dash. Okay.
So, a magical item. You have to attune.
Absolutely.
You have to attune.
A tunable magical item.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say they grant you
Double speed? Do you get the dash action for free?
Well,
double speed?
Well, no. What I was gonna say is they're inherently the what's that spell I use all the time? Retreat.
Speediest retreat.
Speediest retreat, because rabbits run from things. They don't run towards things. So
yeah,
only,
but you use Expedious Retreat all the freaking time.
I do, because the spell doesn't say that I can't.
But you're
well, that's a good reason.
It doesn't say that I can't read the spell. All it says is it grants me increased speed.
I know. But your argument is null and void
No.
Spell allows you to move at an incredible pace when you cast the spell, and then as a bonus action, on each of your turns until the spell ends, you can take the dash action. Okay.
Look, I'm fixing the spell by saying that in this item.
So you just want to say the bunny slippers.
They allow you.
Oh, now Icky said you could use dash as a bonus action.
I mean,
it would be really valuable for non-rogues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Rogues do that, but like there's a lot of spellcasters out there that would love that ability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And now you got a spellcaster walking around with bunny slippers on all the time.
That might be the
love
best
that.
since they are non-rogues. Yeah, Icky, I like that a lot. Thank you for being a voice of sanity in a crazy world. So I know that Swatches can use it as a bonus.
Look, it's fine.
Casters cannot. Yep. Dash is a bonus action. What's the drawback?
They
They're really hot. They make your feet sweat. It's incredibly uncomfortable.
I was gonna say that it grants it's disadvantage on any kind of intimidation Because you're wearing bunny slippers.
Icky was like, oh my god, me, the voice of sanity. Disadvantage on all intimidation checks.
Should it be all like basically charisma checks, persuasion, intimidation, all those things because you're wearing big fluffy bunny slippers?
So like no matter what you try to do,
no one would ever wear these.
Well, but what if somebody doesn't ever use intimidation checks? It seems like such a specific thing.
Hellspawn and Icky are having a conversation in the chat that's really funny.
Okay, so charisma checks are generally persuasion, performance. You trip all over your feet in performance, and persuasion, you're going to be persuading people.
I'm
with
telling you right now,
slippers.
Nobody would ever wear these.
They wouldn't wear them.
Yeah.
If you got disadvantage on every charisma, like base skill check.
But like, how great would it be, like that RP moment where it was like, dude, I really think that you should do this. Are you wearing bunny slippers?
Why, yes, you are the prince of the kingdom, and I will hang on.
Deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion. There are 4 charisma checks. I would think if you were wearing big, fluffy pink bunny slippers.
If you okay.
I think
Here is
performance
what-
would be just the same or better.
What if it's somebody who's never making those charisma checks?
Here is the deal. I will intimidation checks at disadvantage, and Icky has now been brought over to your side of the argument and is saying disadvantage
and persuasion. Yes, thank you, Icky.
Bunnies often run into things due to where their eyes are situated. Okay, let's do this. If you're going to do disadvantage at every frickin' charisma
There's only
base,
4 of them, and they all make
at
sense.
all 4 charisma based skills, then there needs to be a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's gonna wear this.
Right, no.
Like,
so I think that they should get the dash as a bonus action.
I think once a day,
they
can cast the haste spell on themselves.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Fair.
I think that's good. I want to look at the haste spell again.
Perhaps
I was
going to
say they also get to
I would say at least those
double their
2
jumping height.
until arrest.
Oh.
No. No, because you would break that. With a dash action,
I would break it.
You and other players would too. If you have
Well,
a dash as a bonus action and you get double the jumping height, they would just be like, "All right, I'm gonna be like Mike," and go.
All right, haste spell.
I don't even know what the haste spell is.
I would say at least 2 until.
Choose a willing creature you can see within range until the spell ends. The target's speed is doubled. It gains +2 bonus to AC. It has advantage on dex saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. Jeez, I forgot how good that was.
You're right. This is totally not more powerful than being able to
All
jump.
right, you know what?
That action would be easy.
I'm going off
and
of
it's for 1 whole minute.
until the minute wears off and you go catatonic for a round O combat.
Oh, because you go to sleep?
You just are
the
like,
bunny slippers
I
sleep.
No, that's the haste spell. I think we need to go
It is nice because it's a little simpler. Just be like,
Yeah.
you read the haste spell yourself. You get that once per day.
I like Icky's suggestion here. I think intimidation and persuasion at disadvantage. Just those 2.
Okay.
Okay.
But Hellspawn also said bunnies run into things due to where their eyes are. Perhaps a perception checks could be affected.
They can only focus on things off to the side, not...
Now, here's the deal. I think...
Oh no. Okay, if the haste spell is too OP, oh, what's the spell called where you multiply yourself?
The
No. We're not going to multiply ourselves because of the bunnies.
After more thought, I like the haste spell because of the fact that you go catatonic afterwards. It's like, they're so comfortable, you just... narcolepsy. Like...
Alright, here's what we're going to do. You can use the dash as a bonus.
Okay.
After, and only after you use the dash as a bonus action, until you take a long rest, all intimidation and persuasion checks are at disadvantage. So if you don't use the bunny slippers that day, the ears don't twitch by themselves, the whiskers don't move, the nose isn't cute and fluffy. Like,
activate bunny slippers.
After you activate the bunny slippers, like, people are just gonna be like, "Well, yes, Grog, you are the king of barbarian." notice your shoes. But I like this. Once they use the bonus action, intimidation and persuasion is at disadvantage.
That's fair.
Okay, and we'll keep it simple. Now, awakened bunny slippers, we can get into, like, we can do different forms of bunny slippers.
Like the barbarian ones, he actually just put his feet into 2 rabbits. Like,
Magnoth open stream, narcolepsy.
Hello, Magnoth.
Hey.
I do think it would be funny is if you put the bunnies, the slippers in an enclosed space for a period of time, you would have 2 different sets of bunny slippers. Like that's
like
funny.
The same.
They multiply.
They multiply.
But are they the same bunny slippers? Like suddenly you have another pair of the magical slippers?
Yes.
I'm all about that. I would also like.
Then I know we cannot do it. We cannot do this. Okay, we have the bunny slippers.
No, it's great. Do it.
No.
Do it. I would just supply.
Oh my gosh, he'd be
Dimitri's.
multiplying these things constantly and selling them. It would turn into just like he'd be like, "You guys go D&D. I'm just going to be selling things."
Hi, Oswald.
I would just supply Dimitri's with a constant stream of this one magical item.
Hi, Magnoth.
It would be the equivalent of like, I downloaded WoW and I'm playing it, but all I do is the auction house.
Hi, my name's Mandrake. Let me tell you the infinite gold hack on this YouTube video. We love you both. Thank you, Magnoth.
But I've had many weeks where all I have done is auction house.
Those are
I
bunny
know exactly
slippers.
what you're talking about because I play WoW all the time.
Bunny slippers are finished.
Yay, bunny slippers! And you!
We have possible mount for Hillary.
Yes.
Insert dirty joke here. We have bunny slippers.
Yes.
What else would you like to work on, Tracy? Like we each had like a little.
Yeah, we
item.
did something we wanted. Is there anything you would like to do for?
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. My brain is fried. Let's go to the audience and see if you guys have anything that we need to work on. What's coming up? Okay, so Wonder.
You know, I'm all about some new magical items for Wonder.
Wonder, I'm focused on her interpersonal relationships right now. I'm not focused on items.
Okay, help me. I need your help designing a rogue, but I don't want it to be an arcane rogue, like
Arcane trickster.
Arcane trickster.
So not a new Mandrake.
Not a new Mandrake per se, but I would like something unique about this rogue. His name. Well, he is known in this universe as the Joker. He started off as a prison guard.
Okay, so that guy's a rogue.
And he is in a personal relationship with an NPC/PC that you guys have already interacted with.
Not taking notes for Wonder, please be.
And so he is about to make an appearance. Now, I thought about making him an assassin. An assassin rogue along those lines because they're just amazing with the disguise kit and the poisoner's kit and the advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. Mm-hmm. Like it's like they are amazing. But I am open to suggestions from the crowd. I can also be persuaded to multi-class.
See, based on the description that you gave at the end of the episode,
yeah.
I mean, yes, I may have gotten it wrong because I was freaking out, but he read as almost as a fighter, like the things that you were describing for me anyway. He read as a fighter.
Okay.
So I honestly did not expect him to be a rogue.
No, that's good. Maybe I should look at fighter then. Maybe looking at a fighter and paying attention to some of these battle maneuvers and the presence of fighters and things of that sort. Now, I could also look at, there is a bard school. That is the School of Shadows, I believe.
Yeah, that's what
there's
my
a
bard
druid
was.
bard and a cleric bard.
Cleric bard. Yeah.
Bards. Each class has a bard.
Yeah.
It's bard. But it's not in the player's handbook. But I don't know. I haven't even looked at it yet.
You said shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, if I remember correctly, that's what Lord Giffington was.
College of Shadows Bard. It's the College of Whispers.
That sounds familiar.
You get psychic blades. You gain the ability to make your weapon attacks magically toxic to a creature's mind. When you hit it with a weapon attack, you can expend one of your bardic inspirations to deal 2d6 psychic damage to the target.
Don't like that.
They came out in the Xanthar's Guide.
Yeah. You learn to infuse innocent-seeming words with insidious magic. If you speak to a humanoid alone for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to see paranoia and fear into its mind. At the end of the conversation, the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your spell save or be frightened of you or another creature of your choice.
Don't like that.
Never mind.
Okay, and Todd Kendrick, in the initial interview when they released it, typically this is a bard who isn't in your face, strange or creepy. He's pretending to be happy-go-lucky bard.
That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect for him. Has anybody in the chat had the College of Whispers or played a College of Whispers before and have advice or...
I'm fairly certain that's what Lord Givington was.
Was he?
I think so, yeah.
Were you throwing like psychic blades at people? How do I not remember
I
this?
didn't know how to use him.
Okay.
I had never played a bard before.
I think I think the Joker, who is going to appear in Tuesday, is going to be a College of Whispers bard.
I love it.
And he's going to be very charismatic and just very loving. Do we what?
Yep. Yeah. Lord. College of Whispers.
College of Whispers. Icky, do you have any experience, or anybody in the chat really, have any experience with College of Whisper bards? I'm looking to do that for a few NPCs that are being introduced very soon, and I thought that would be good. So if anybody has any experience with a College of Whispers bard and wants to send information or tips or tricks for playing them and things of that sort, I will start building him this evening, or at least taking the character that I had set up that was going to be a rogue and change it over to a College of Whispers bard.
Isn't there like a college of fluffy happy otters? I would.
No, but they're.
Yeah.
But they're.
Okay, College of Whispers.
Thank you, Icky.
Yeah,
It
well, we're at
looks-
3rd level. Psychic Blades and Words of Terror he'll have.
No, but there is a brand new.
This is for Wonder. We're at 9th.
Ooh, that's right.
There is a new otter class. Like an otter race, otter humanoid like race and stuff like
Too
that.
bad you already described him, unless he's sheathed in illusion.
Oh, one big Uno. I have whisper
Whoa.
experience.
Many other bards hate the College of Whispers, viewing it as a parasite that uses the bard's reputation to acquire wealth and power.
That works even better. That's great.
For
Chris.
this reason, members of this college rarely reveal their true nature. They typically claim to follow some other college, or they keep their actual calling in secret in order to infiltrate and exploit royal courts and other settings of power.
In your face.
No, I might be okay with it because if he's trying to take down the Red Queen.
Oh my gosh, these bards use their knowledge and magic to uncover secrets and turn them against others through extortion and threats.
I'm into
This is
this.
all, oh my gosh,
I'm
this
into
is
this.
perfect.
This is perfect. So
Mandrake will never trust him, but he might try to use it.
he is a College of Whispers bard.
Teaches its students that they are wolves among sheep.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's great. The other characters have been established, and what sort of classes they are, and what sort of space that they live in, and headspace. And I'm really excited for you guys to meet them. I think it's gonna go better than you think it's gonna go.
I usually expect the worst.
I know you do. Yeah.
I mean, we are standing in the royal court, surrounded by people who apparently want us dead, and
yes, but this. Let's be honest. This is the worst predicament that you guys have been.
That's fair. But the fact that we jumped out of hell into this situation, and I'm more nervous about this than
Icky, thank you so much for the link. I will read through it tonight. I hope you guys all had fun today. There's a few of you that said that they had a great time sort of hanging out, and we opened a brand new play-by post today. that was that's open for a limited amount of time. It's open for like usually a few hours, or sometimes longer than that, or sometimes shorter than that. And then it's a real quick puzzle. You play yourself. You walk into a room. I'm equating it to a sort of virtual escape room where you walk in, but it's way dark and creepy and scary.
It's like the movie escape.
Yes, it's like the movie escape room, and it allows me to exercise. We do Wonderland and Neverland here on the channel, but I was a huge horror film for a long time, horror film like buff for a long time, and loved reading Stephen King and sort of horror anthologies. So it's allowing me to tap into my sort of creepy dark side.
Today had some real Saw vibes to it.
Yeah. Well, I've got some really good ideas, and honestly, it's a good testing ground for me to test out my like puzzles and stuff like that. Like, so you may see some of these puzzles that if they don't get solved, or if there's a bit of delay or anything along those lines, like they'll get looked at. So. Okay. Cool. You guys want to end it a little early? Are we good with that? Things a little early tonight. We have the mounts set up for Hillary. We have the bunny slippers. What are they called again?
The bunny slippers of Speedy Dash.
Speedy Dash.
Because sometimes I just say things.
And we also have the Joker, and I'm going to spend my night looking at the College of Whisperers Bard. So thank you guys so much. I'm gonna.
Oh, you keep talking. I'll go over there.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hello.
These Sunday night homebrew and brew with yous are sort of quick hangout times, but we love doing them, and I cannot wait to hang out with you guys tomorrow night and Tuesday night and all of that stuff. So, yes. Icky, you know what? You're not in this campaign. We will talk. And you and I can maybe design the Joker together.
He's terrifying already.
But I love him. I will even send you a picture of what he looks like, which is something the rest of the crew hasn't seen. So, yeah, I made a baddie that was a College of Whisper jester. Yep, kind of the same. So we'll talk. There's always a spot at the table for each and every one of you guys. Indigo Connect, and we will see you guys soon here on Indigo Chameleon.